In almost all education, one lesson builds on top of the other. Knowledge acquired yesterday forms a foundation of knowledge that we build up today. An exit slip or exit ticket is a great way to quickly gauge students' understanding at the end of a lesson. It gives you a snapshot of how well students have understood today's lesson, so you can tell whether you can start building your next layer. In this video, I'll cover how and when to use exit slips, tips to create great exit tickets, and of course, how you can use them with BookWidgets. I'm Lucy from BookWidgets and you're watching the EdTech School playlist. Subscribe to stay inspired. So what makes a good exit ticket? First of all, exit tickets should be short. Ask every student 1 or 2 short questions about today's lesson. Keep in mind your goal here. The answer should tell whether you need to rehearse or continue building your tower. Importantly, exit tickets are not tests, so you certainly shouldn't grade them. Think of exit tickets as a measuring instrument that provides feedback to the teacher. Broadly speaking, there are 3 kinds of questions in an exit ticket. Questions that document learning, for instance, write one thing you've learned today. Questions that emphasize the process of learning, for instance, write one question you have about today's lesson. And questions to evaluate the effectiveness of instruction, for instance, did you enjoy working in small groups today? So how can you make your own exit ticket? You can just make a worksheet out of it on paper, or you can make it digital with BookWidgets. With BookWidgets, exit slip always consists out of 2 questions, a feedback question and a content question. The feedback question gauges how students feel about today's lesson, and they answer with a positive, neutral or negative emoji. By default, this question is, did you understand today's lesson? The content question is an open-ended question about today's lesson. For instance, what are the main points of today's lesson? You can optionally add an image to the content question. Students use their smartphone, tablet, Chromebook or laptop to answer both questions and submit their work with the push of a button. BookWidgets automatically collects all of their answers and presents you with a handy overview. As the name implies, you use exit tickets at the end of a class. The main goal is to check students' understanding, but there are a couple of other reasons you might want to use exit slips as well. To verify students can solve a problem, to emphasize the essential part of a lesson, for gathering questions that students have about a topic, and finally, to see if students have a sufficient level of understanding to apply the content in a new way. Sometimes exit slips are actually used as entry slips. In this case, you use them to quickly figure out what students already know about a topic as you begin a new unit. To end this video, I have some good exit ticket question examples for you. 1. Write down 3 things you learned today. 2. If you had to explain today's lesson to a friend, what would you tell him? 3. What questions do you have about what we learned today? Check out 7 more examples in the blog post. I've put a link in the description below. That's it for today. Don't forget to subscribe so we can keep on making these educational videos for teachers. Thanks for watching.